All right, let's get right into it. If you're here, you probably already know that the toughest battle in trading isn't against the market. It's against the person staring back at you in the reflection of your screen. In this explainer, we're going to build the system you need to finally win that battle. And it all starts with one really critical number. Just look at that number, 80%. Think about that for a second. This isn't some feel-good, fluffy concept. We're talking about your bottom line. Emotional control isn't a soft skill. It is, without a doubt, the single biggest edge you can possibly develop. It's what separates the pros from the crowd, and today we're going to build that edge, step by step. Let me tell you, I have absolutely been there. I once spun up a tiny $500 account into 10 grand. I felt like a genius, totally invincible. Then, one piece of news, one greedy, all-in, impulsive trade, and poof, it was all gone. Margin call. I was just devastated. So the next day, what did I do? I tried to make it all back in a hurry, revenge trading, with money I really couldn't afford to lose. And, you guessed it, blew that account too. That pain is exactly why I'm making this guide. This is the framework to make sure that never, ever happens to you. So how do we stop that from ever happening again? How do we build that fortress? Well, it doesn't start in the heat of the moment. It starts in the calm before the storm. This is part one, your pre-market ritual. See, mastery begins way before the opening bell, when you actually have the time to build your defenses against the chaos that's about to come. Okay, so here's your checklist. It's simple, but it is so powerful. First, an honest emotional check-in. Ask yourself, am I stressed? Am I angry, tired? If the answer is yes, the most profitable move you can make all day is to just close the laptop. Seriously, the market will be there tomorrow. Second, you review your plan. What are your A-plus setups? You need to know them cold. Anything else is just noise, tempting you to lose money. And finally, visualize. For 10 minutes, just walk through a perfect trade in your mind. But, and this is crucial, also walk through a trade that hits your stop loss. This primes your brain to act with discipline, not surprise, when it happens for real. All right, so you've done your prep, you're ready. But now we step into the arena. This is part two, and this is where the real battle begins. Staying calm under pressure. Because when that P&L starts flashing red or green, we need a system to stop our rational brain from getting totally hijacked. And that enemy, it has a name, the amygdala hijack. And this isn't some made-up trading guru term, okay? This is a real biological thing happening inside your brain. When you feel a threat, like, say, a losing trade, the emotional, primitive part of your brain, the amygdala, literally takes over from the logical part. It makes decisions in nanoseconds. This is what leads to those impulsive clicks you always regret later. So that's the million-dollar question, right? How in the world do you stop it? Well, you can't fight an enemy you can't see coming. The absolute key is to catch the early warning signs before the hijack is complete and you've completely lost control. Listen to me on this. Your body is going to tell you long before your brain admits it. It's giving you signals. Are you clenching your jaw? Are you holding your breath without realizing it? Is your heart racing? These are your physical tells. Here's a pro tip for you. Put a little mirror on your desk or even record yourself trading for an hour. You will be absolutely shocked at what you see. These are the signals that your emotions are taking over. Okay, so the second you spot one of those signs, boom, you deploy the pattern interrupt. This is your circuit breaker. First, just recognize it. Acknowledge the feeling. Second, breathe. I want you to use box breathing. A slow inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. This will literally calm your nervous system down. Third, physically step away from the screen. Get up, walk around, even if it's just for 60 seconds. Change your physical state. And fourth, speak your logic out loud. I mean it. Say, my stop loss is set for a reason. I am following my plan. This forces your thinking brain to get back in the game. You know, trading literally burns fuel in your brain. We're talking about cognitive glucose. And when it runs low, you make bad decisions. It's called decision fatigue. That's why this next rule is completely non-negotiable. Set a timer. Every single hour, you get up for a mandatory 15-minute break. No charts, no Twitter, no checking your phone. A break isn't lazy. It's what professionals do to refuel. So the closing bell rings, most traders shut their laptops and call it a day. But not us. For a professional, this is when the real work starts. Welcome to part 3, the daily debrief. The biggest leaps in your growth will happen now, when the emotional dust has settled and you can actually think clearly. And this is a really critical distinction.
Look, a simple trade log is fine, but it's not going to make you a better trader. We're not just mapping trades here, we are mapping the psychological patterns that are actually driving our results.
This right here, this table is your secret weapon. It's called the rational framework, and it's how you connect the dots. Just look at the examples. The trigger, saw coin pumping on Twitter. The thought, oh man, I can't miss this. The emotion, pure FOMO and greed. The action, jumped into an unplanned, oversized trade. And the lesson, social media triggers my FOMO. By filling this out every single day, you stop being a victim of your emotions and you start becoming a detective of your own mind.
And look, let's be super clear about something. The goal here is not to become some emotionless robot. That's impossible, and frankly, it's not even helpful. The goal is to see your own patterns so clearly that when you feel that wave of FOMO or anger wash over you, you can see it, you can acknowledge it, but you can detach it from the button that executes the trade. You separate the feeling from the action.
So let's zoom out and put all these pieces together. This isn't a one-time fix, it's a continuous process. It's a daily commitment to turning that vicious cycle of emotional trading into a virtuous cycle of professional execution. This is it. This is the loop. You prepare with your ritual. You execute calmly using your interrupt techniques. You review your mind with the journal. And most importantly, you improve by taking those lessons and applying them to your preparation for the very next day. This right here is how small incremental progress turns into massive exponential growth over time.
If you take only one thing away from all of this, let it be this fundamental shift in mindset. Stop focusing on making money on this one trade. Start focusing on executing your process flawlessly. If you can do that, if you can trade with unwavering discipline, day in and day out, I promise you the profits will take care of themselves. That is the ultimate secret.
Look, you can't control the market. It's an uncontrollable force. But you know what you can control? You. Your journey to becoming a consistently profitable trader doesn't start with some new indicator or a different strategy. It starts right now with the decision to become the master of your own mind. The tools are all here. The only question left is, are you ready to use them?